That in the house I did, so just bear with me. So you probably heard me talk about the O'Reilly's house being demolished, and the O'Reilly was, a person who died in the 1916 rising, one of the leaders, and the only leader that 1916 rising to die. So I'm a bit flustered here. So just sorry, I seem a bit flustered. So I contacted Dublin City Council again. They still had to come back to me. I've been putting almighty pressure on them to give me an answer. Again, I give them the benefit of the doubt because obviously the city council compared to an only local authority, they are a lot more busier and they did. I understand that, and I obviously would give them a bit more. I give them to Tuesday, and if I don't hear a word, I obviously would go higher, go higher. But I have contacted to county councillor, Claire O'Connor. I did meet Claire. I shook hands with her a few years ago. Um, and she, to me, and again, I have to say, one of the quickest emails, I only sent it off for about 5 minutes, she got back to me. I will read it out to you about Claire O'Connor. First of all, she congratulates on all my hard work in the Teddy Township. She knows who I am, so again, thank you, Claire, for that. I basically said, and I just say what I said in the email. I said, it would be a shame if the house was knocked down, or all his sacrifice will go into vain. And that's the word I used. And it was a very, very good way of putting it. His sacrifice will go into vain. His name will fade from the history books. It kind of rhymes off the tongue. And that was kind of very good. And Dublin City Council really, probably like, is he a poet or what is he? But yeah, she said, I absolutely agree with you 100%. I visited the site many times this summer, and I offer my support, and I'd be voting in favour of not demolishing it. At the city council meeting either September or October. So she basically said to me, and I asked again, what does she mean by September? October? She said, it's still up for debate. Because there is pushback from the local community, and rightly so, and there's pushback from the whole country. And again, she said whenever the time comes to reach it, but she said she'd keep in touch with me on it. Again, thanks to Claire for that, because only for that, because I would have been waiting for a while, because Dublin City Council haven't got back to me yet with an answer, a proper answer, saying we're still discussing this. So yeah, just to say, fair play to Claire. Straight away she give me an answer that is still, I asked, and the other question I asked is still up for debate. And she said it's either going to be discussed in September or October. So it still can be changed. It still can be. There is 2 petitions going around, so please do sign them. And again, I said to her, so as she said, as she said, she agreed with me on the fact that this man did sacrifice his life for this country, and his name should not go out of the history books. As I said in the end, his name should not go out in the history books. And that house should always stand as a memorial for his sacrifice to this country which we live in today. And she said, I couldn't have put it better myself. So, again, it's good to have people that, will, like I can see myself, she will go out of her way. She is very passionate. I can see that in the way she's talking. She is very passionate about this. So, again, thank you to Claire, because I did contact one other county councillor, and what it was given, and what the answer was given from his secretary, was that he wasn't in. Apparently that he wasn't in. He wasn't in 2 days, I called him. Apparently. But then again, he probably knows who I am. He's probably like, oh no. Because the time a few weeks ago, I gave somebody in, a Monaghan County Council, I give the County Council of Monaghan how I'm doing. In other words, I asked them very, very tough questions, and I asked them very serious questions about the Clonus Cross. I basically flustered him, because he didn't know was he going left, he didn't know was he going right. I had him so confused that he didn't know where he was going. Because I thought he was holding out and things, and again, at the end I didn't get anything extra out of him, but I think I was a bit harsh on him, because I did put almighty pressure on him to admit, to spill the beans or whatever he knew. So yeah, but yeah, I did apologise to him, because at the end of the day he didn't know anything, and I was just said, he only knew as much as I knew, which was more than he knew. But hopefully that it will be reconsidered, because again, as she said too, there's pushback from the community too, and that's it. But again, thank you to Claire, because again it was 5 minutes. It was only 5 minutes. The first email was set off, and then she wasn't long on replying. So again, thank you very much, Claire, for your response. And I did tweet out on Twitter to her. At the time, I didn't see the email. She did treat me straight away. It was my mistake, and my apologies, Claire. It was my mistake. I didn't see it in my email. I didn't see it. I actually didn't see it. So it was my mistake that I treated that just saying, to respond. It was my mistake. Sorry about that. Again, I would keep you updated, and I would keep fighting for it. I'm waiting for Dublin City Council to give me some answer again, but at least they got some kind of an answer that is still is up for discussion. At least we know that. At least we know that for a fact. That it's either going to be September or October. The Dublin City Council, that area, Bowes Bridge area, county councils will be up for discussion and obviously will be discussed. And I would suggest that people, please sign these petitions, because again, the more numbers we have, the better we will look, and the better, the more public outwar, as we've seen with Phil Hogan was saying, the more public outwar, the more they will say, what, we keep it there. And as I suggested to Dublin City Council, could they not find an alternative place to put these apartments, what to put there? And again, it was very hard to put them on the spot, really. So I'm waiting for them to get back to me. I will keep in touch with us. Again, I would suggest to people, please sign the petitions. For the moment in time, there's not really much else we can do. I'm waiting for the Dublin City Council to see what they have to say. I'd be able to probably find out the exact date if I can. If I can get in touch with the chief executive, maybe of Dublin City Council, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, I think it's a win that for the moment in time they're not going to do anything. For the moment, we have to wait until October. So obviously there has to be a decision taken. So I will keep you in touch with this. I will. She said she will get back to me if she hears anything else. So again, thank you again to her. Because honestly, it's great to see people that will communicate with the general public and will communicate with people like me. Because again, I'm a concerned citizen. I want to see the house staying there for his memory, and for the sacrifice he made. And he's not here today, and his memory has to live on. And people forget his name, and people forget what he did in the 1960s and what he sacrificed, everything he sacrificed, where he was brought up, and this is something nowadays that we forget about, and that's always going to be there as a reminder, and I want that to be there as a reminder, and sure many people do. So please do sign the petitions, and thank you so much, and bye.